Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen. Dude, going into this, I was like, all right, what are we going to expect here? And then I thought about it, and I was like, hey, I'm just expecting a Max Holloway fight. This
Yeah.
was the typical Max Holloway fight. He's going to have
I
some
thought
good.
the opposite.
Really, I thought
Yeah,
the
keep
same
going
in
though.
the sense that he has some good footwork. He peppers, gets away, doesn't land any major shots.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy will eat some shots though. He
Yeah, he
usually eats
will.
one or two big shots. He has a granite chin, man. Some of those
Yeah.
shots that Allen landed, he had this thing where he was coming in with a double jab, and like
Mm-hmm.
as he's throwing the double jab, Allen would slip and come in with this overhand left and crack him a couple times.
Yeah. The
But
high
I,
kick.
I thought that the high kick, yeah, he caught him with it a couple times too. But that's what I like. Whenever I think typical Max Holloway fight, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be high output, right? Pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's gonna eat some shots.
Yeah. See, for me, I think the same thing, and that's why I think this wasn't like a typical Max Holloway fight because it wasn't the pressure. That was the big thing that was missing.
Mm.
And I thought it was super smart. And we've talked about even just last event with Izzy, it's like and Chris Curtis both they're counter strikers. They skirt around the outside. Chris Curtis doesn't really skirt around the outside, but he's a counter striker, and we had to see them be first more than they normally are, right? And I thought this was the opposite here. It was Max Holloway's usually the guy who's walking you down, peppering you with straight punches, shifting as he comes in, the body kick. But instead, in this fight, we got a counter striker Max almost, where he's the one that's
Mm.
skirting on the outside a little bit, using Allen's footwork against him. Really, that was like the big thing because going into this, it's like okay, Allen has the edge in the power department, and that's pretty much it, right? He hits harder than Max. Max stings people with shots, but it's because he's like concussing them. But he doesn't have like that big overhand right or overhand left, like in this case, that Allen has. So he's gonna pepper you. He's gonna beat you down. You're gonna trade with him at that pace, and you're gonna start to wilt. And he's just gonna keep ramping up, ramping up. But we didn't really get that from Max in this fight, at least not early. The first couple rounds, it was kind of Allen pressuring to try to take out Holloway, and Holloway just doing weird little things to negate the footwork of Allen. Like he was
Mm.
doing this thing where when he was southpaw, he would throw an lead leg inside like calf kick, but barely even to the calf, more to like the ankle. Like he's just flicking him in the ankle and tripping him up. He would step at the outside when they were open stances and trip him up. Like he was really doing a good job of exploiting Allen's kind of like basic footwork. Like his footwork's not bad by any means, but it's not like it's not super crafty. He was following Holloway a little bit too much.
Mm.
He did a decent job at the beginning to cut him off, but his entries were like straight line entries that Holloway was really able to angle off of, and then you see him get cracked, and it was when he was moving straight backwards that he would get cracked, right? Holloway, it's
Yep.
not like when he would forget to angle or maybe he's getting tired, he'd get cracked at the big one, but it's because he's moving back. But I thought it was an interesting performance from Max, especially because Allen is dangerous early. We've never seen him go 5 rounds. He was booked 5 rounds against Calvin Kattar, but Kattar blew his knee out in like the second round,
Yep.
I think. Was it the end of the first round or the second round?
I don't remember, but I know he did blow his knee out for sure. Well, not Allen, but Calvin Kattar.
Yeah. So Allen, we didn't get to see
Round
him go the
two.
distance. Round two. Yeah. Okay. So it was early. We had never seen Allen go 5 rounds, but we know he's super dangerous early. Like when we watch him fight Dan Hooker. So it's like, okay, he doesn't have the greatest footwork. Let's kind of evade some shots early, let him get those big punches out, and then we'll start turning it on. And I was like, man, Max Holloway is like such a legend for being able to do that. Like he obviously he's a legend no matter what, but seeing guys like Izzy, seeing guys like Max Holloway who have a very specific style, like you said, it's like, are we getting a Max Holloway fight? Because you know what to expect. But then he does something like this where it's like nuanced and it's a little different at this stage in the game to be able to change that based on your opponent. That's like elite level.
Yeah, and you know what? I think you're right because Holloway for sure wasn't pressuring as much as he did in the past, but I still
Mm-hmm.
feel like because he doesn't have like that crazy one punch knockout power,
Mm-hmm.
but he just outstruck Allen, kept on peppering
Yeah.
him with some of the counters, like you said. Man,
The volume was still
I,
there.
and yes, the volume was still there in the beginning. like you said, he got caught with that left, a big
Mhm.
left, man, right on the jaw as he's
Yeah, I
backing
was
up
like, "Oh,
straight.
shit."
But then it was just a simple adjustment for him where you take one step back and then there's 2 steps off to the right. One
Yeah.
step back, 2 steps off to the right. And he did that multiple times last night. But uh, you know, I think if you don't watch fighting too much and you
Mhm.
watch that fight last night, you probably think this was a really close fight. But
I've seen some
like
people say that.
yeah, but don't like really paying attention to how much damage Arnold Allen was really doing because I know he landed some big shots,
Mhm.
but how many big shots were they? And
Yeah.
outside of that, it was just Max Holloway that, like I said, just kept on landing smaller shots, but it was repeatedly
Mhm.
frustrating Allen. And definitely towards the later rounds, you could start seeing the urgency in Allen. I know
That
his
was
corner
cool.
told him like, dude, you gotta put him out this last round
What did
because
Faraz say
we
in
ain't
between?
winning.
Yeah, before the 5th round, Faraz said, "It's fly or die.
Yeah,
Like, we're gonna have to get it here," which was sick, and he went for it. I mean, that 5th round, he was very dangerous. He cracked
dude, the
Max a
last
few
10
times.
seconds, and even Max said he was like, man, this was like shades of Ricardo Lamas, and I was like,
Yeah.
let's do it, man. Like if you want to
Well,
go, let's go.
like, literally the last 10 seconds, Allen is like, "I need a finish," and we'll talk about a fight later on where someone was in a very similar situation and didn't do this, but Allen cracks him over the top in the clinch and like literally like stumbles Holloway. Like Max stumbled after that shot. And then Max was like, "Oh, is that what we're doing?" And then he just digs deep and he's like, "Fuck this angling off. I'm gonna go for it. It's 10 seconds left, might as well." And they start trading. He cracks Allen. Allen stumbles, rushes back in to get one back, and then Holloway drops him. They didn't
Yeah,
call it a
no.
knockdown. I'm
So
looking at
after
the
he
official
cracks him
stats.
the
That's a
first
knockdown.
time, and like he
Mhm.
stumbles back and comes back and he says like let's
Yeah.
go, give me more, and he steps forward and he really gets cracked. I was like, oh, dude, you gotta be
Yeah.
careful what you ask for. Is there
Yeah.
anybody when fighters bite down on their mouthpiece and just
Mhm.
trade phone booth style? Is there
Yeah.
anybody more dangerous than Max Holloway?
I mean, we saw Izzy just do the same thing, and he
That
and he
is true.
flatlined Fajeda. You know,
Straight flatlining.
there's a few guys who, when they bite down, you better get the fuck out of the way, dude.
Man, he has the ability to just adjust so quickly
He
and
really
make sure like
does.
that hook that he hit Allen with at the end, just so
Mhm.
nice and tight, man. Right
Yeah,
on,
for
right on
sure.
the chin. Yeah,
And
he's just so
Allen,
much fun to watch.
yeah, and Allen was starting to get frustrated, like you said, because towards the later half of that fight, I thought Max Holloway did such a good job with the body kicks. He has a like stabbing front kick that he throws to the body, and then also that left body kick at the end of his straight punches because they'll
Hmm.
shift when he's throwing those punches. Again, Izzy did the same thing where he'll throw the combo shift, and then it sets up that left body kick, and he landed that throughout the whole night. You could tell Allen's slowing down a little bit, but he's just tough as nails. But in that 4th round specifically, you could really see Holloway start to exploit like his footwork because
Mm.
he'd come in trying to hit Holloway and Holloway would just bop 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 and out, and then Allen's like flailing off to the side almost, and like he did that a few times where he's like trying to hit him and then he's just like nope. Like Holloway's footwork in this fight was incredible. It was
Thing of beauty.
really really good.
Thing of
Yeah,
beauty, man.
and yeah, I mean, they didn't count the knockdown at the end of the fight, uh, but I feel like they should have. That was a knockdown.
They
Like,
didn't count
yeah,
it.
they didn't count. I'm looking at the official stats. They did not count the knockdown, which is stupid because yeah, he got knocked down with like 1 second left, and the bell rang as he was standing back up. But
But it was
like,
a knockdown.
it's a
Let's
knockdown.
be real.
It's still a
Yeah.
knockdown. Yeah,
Ah,
I don't
man.
know.
Hey, shout out Regen.
Shout out Regen. Poor featherweights. You don't just have to have one champ to beat to become champion. Yeah, you really have to beat a champ to even get the title shot. And even
Murderer's
then,
Row.
yeah, even then, you better just hope for matchups that miss Max Holloway because even Yair couldn't get past him, and here we are getting Yair a title shot.
That's true. But I mean, if you're in the UFC, what else are you gonna do?
You have to, you have to,
Can't be like Volkanovski versus Holloway 10.
yeah, because that was the other thing going into this. It's like, well, Holloway's last fight was the Volk fight, which he lost like pretty convincingly, and everyone's kind of wondering, is it Max slowing down? Is Volk just still getting better? All this stuff. Max is slowing down a little bit, but so the difference in his style in this fight reminds me of Clayton Kershaw. You know, the pitcher on the Dodgers, right? Because Kershaw was dominant forever, right? He's
Yeah.
still very good, but he's like 50 years old now, right? He's like towards the end of his contract. His fastball has lost like 6 miles an hour off his velocity. So what does he start doing? He starts developing his off-speed pitches, and he's not a power pitcher. He's a finesse pitcher now. He adjusted his game because he doesn't have the heat on his fastball anymore. So okay, let me develop my curveball. Let me develop the changeup. All these things, because you have to get more crafty as you do start to slow down, because everybody does. So even if Max is slowing down, if he's able to change his style based off that, then
Why
he
not?
could keep
Yeah,
doing this. He could keep
true.
doing this.
And at a very high level.
Yeah. Regent says I'd watch Volk versus Holloway 10.
Dude, there's just some matchups. Volk versus Holloway, Reina
Mhm.
versus Figueiredo. There's some of those. Dude, Pajeda versus.
I mean, versus
We just
Izzy.
saw it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just some of those classic matchups that no matter how many times you see it,
Yeah.
sign me up, take my money.
Sign me up. Yeah,
All
but
right,
that was a
man.
great win. I don't think the stock should drop on Arnold Allen at all. The fact that he was able to um, get in there in the 5th round, because that was the thing. It's like, can he go 5 rounds? And the fact that he goes out in the 5th round, he wins it on all 3 judges' scorecards. And I mean, looked dangerous that 5th round. I was like, this motherfucker better not drop my boy in the 5th round.
And that was his first loss in the UFC.
First loss in the UFC, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he's
he
very
still has
good.
a bright future. Very bright
And he's
future. All
got
right.
Firas Zahabi, so like this is they have 25 minutes of things to work on now. They look, we went 5 rounds, but we didn't get the nod. It's not like we got finished, we didn't get caught with something. We lost a fight over 5 rounds. What do we need to fix? You know what I mean? Because if you get caught by like a random shot in a combo, it's like, what do we really work on? I shouldn't have got caught there. But when you have 5 whole minutes and you lost by decision, now you know what you need to address. And with a coach like Firas Zahabi, I expect Arnold Allen to come out a lot better in his next fight.
Firas Zahabi, man. Who else from that camp? I mean, you have is Charles Jourdain still over there?
I think Jourdain's still there. Firas is pretty picky. And people are like, is he even a good coach, or did he just get lucky with GSP? Listen to him talk. He's a very good coach. He's just very selective. He's very selective. He's a smart guy.
Didn't he have Kevin Lee over there for a second too?
Kevin Lee,
When
Roy
Kevin Lee was like
McDonald.
jumping
Yeah.
camps and stuff. Yeah. All right. By the way, his brother taken off.
Yeah. Yeah.
With his being a food critic on TikTok. That guy's super
Oh,
famous
really?
now. But anyway, yeah. Have you seen it?
No, I thought you meant because he's a fighter too. Kevin Lee, you mean?
Yeah. No,
His
his
brother's
brother's
a fighter too.
but now he does like food critic videos on TikTok. Blown up, millions of followers, dude. Like all of his videos get millions of hits. He gets flown out to try different restaurants now. Like, dude, he's turning it up, man. Turn it up. I'll send you some of his videos. Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. All right, everybody, thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.